Thank you very much. My name is Erik Svensrud. I'm coming from a consultancy firm named inFuture, and we are doing foresights, strategy, and innovation. I'll not talk about consulting today. I was invited here to talk about the research project named inSight, which is sponsored by the Research Council and consists of 17 partners. Our main partners, they are Dyreparken, which is the project owner and which I'm going to talk about today. But the other main partners are also Agderforskning, inFuture as myself, USUS, which is a network of companies in the travel industry in the south of Norway. We have Fluxloop, which is a technology provider providing beacons in these projects, and also NSB for those who know that, they're most of the trains in Norway. And we also have 11 other partners, just to have that said, such as Color Line, for instance. And now the big question, so what is inSight? It's nothing about Walt Disney here, which you might expect. You told from sheer luck to data-driven insights. I think on Norwegian it's even more catchy, fra flaks til peiling. It's about using all these buzzwords and all these trends that we see, such as big data, cheaper usage of the cloud services and machine learning, and also that the customers likes to start sharing a lot of data. We want to use that in an industry that has not been that very data-driven. Dyreparken has done a lot of great things in be able to be where they are today, but most of their choices, most of their investments are based on intuitions and a belief of what we think the customers would like. Now, we know that we can understand what the customers are doing and what they're liking, so let's use that now onwards. This is the last proper slide I will show you. The rest will be rather snippets from a dashboard that we have implemented now in the dashboards. They are updated every morning and can use by the management to see how their customers, how their guests are using, how they behave in the park. So what you're seeing here is an overview of all these beacons that we have placed in the park. And just to have to check how many know what a beacon is, I would like to everyone that raise a hand that knows what a beacon is. Yes, not too many. So I think it's well worth to tell what the beacon is. It can look like this. It's a very stupid thing. You can place it many places, for instance, on this table. And it has one ID, which is communicated through to Bluetooth. So this beacon will now set an identity in maybe 42, 42, 42. That's what it does. And when I reach this beacon with ID 42 with my cell phone, which has a Dyreparken app, and I also give my consent that they can track me on the beacons, I will receive this 42, and I'll translate that to maybe the table in the Oslo Innovation Week, and then in data, so that with an app and with this beacon, we can understand where people are and how they move around. So we have more than 200 beacons in Dyreparken, and these colors shows the different areas in Dyreparken. For instance, this blue area here is Africa. So what can this tell us? Well, if you're leaving this Africa area, they have lots of lions in the savannah and lots of other animals. They want to know how long are the customers there? How much time do they spend? When are they coming? What are they visiting? What do they like the most? And with this new technology and with this ability to show this through dashboards, we can now actually show them that. We are now tracking. All this data I'm showing you is from this main season, from 1st of June to the end of August in 2017. And it's the data we're getting is almost 25% of all the visitors in Dyreparken. So what we can see here that, in Africa, you typically spend from 5 to 30 minutes. And you typically start the customer journey at 11, 12 o'clock in the morning. Moreover, the Savannah and the Lions presentation is the most visited areas, compared to a shop called Eventyrbutikken, which is not that much visited, apparently. So this was very descriptive statistics, showing how they're using it. But how can we use intelligence upon this? The thing is that we have captured so many actual customer journeys. Customer journeys is something we use mainly in the digital to tell how I act when I'm on the web. But now we can actually see the proper customer journey in the park, the physical customer journey. So if we connect that to, for instance, say, machine learning, what I show you an example of here, I say, okay, we have 400,000 customer journeys now, proper customer journeys. Let's do a cluster analysis on this. How many different customer types are there, only based by the actual customer data? And or machine learning, they said it should be 8 clusters here. They don't give these names. They are in Norwegian, so sorry about that. But these are descriptive names of how Dyreparken then should think of their customers. And for instance, you can see there's a huge difference from, for instance, frequent visitors, which we can see up here in the gray one. These are visiting the park very, very often. They stay away in July, but they typically normally visit in June before the main season. And they have very different pattern from the average guests, which spends 1 to 2 days. They tend to see everything in the park, and they're especially fond of Africa. So now we don't act upon intuition, but now we can see what kind of customers are coming to Dyreparken. And that also leads to other questions. Okay, so how do we actually fulfill these people's needs? Can we do a different marketing, or can we communicate differently to them? Or are we having a nice one park for all of these segments? Or should we put investment in other places? So that's one way of using customer journeys. And that's also one way to show insights of our customers. Another option that we also have done is to communicate with our customers, because if they have an app and we know where you are, then we can inform you about different things. We know that such as the feeding the lions is a very popular event in Dyreparken. So if you're nearby the lion's den and there's like 10 minutes till the feeding is going to happen, we send you a message like, hi, you should go here and watch this. Or if we have too much soup made, for instance, we can say, there's a discount on the soup today. Go ahead at the closest shop. So what we see here is that we have three different categories of campaigns that we send out to the customers in Dyreparken, which is something we call an info. It's just telling you what's happening around when you're in the proximity. We have something called to throw the dice, where you can give a score of what you like from 1 to 6. And we also have a bigger survey in the end of the stay. If you have stayed a full day, we get every day new information about how you enjoyed the stay in Dyreparken. So for instance, here we look at the dice throwing, and we can see that we sent out 27,000 requests. We get almost 9,000 responses, which is 31% in total, which is quite good. And if we compare how they did it previously, they get like 1 survey results in the end of September every year. And they did their investments and their planning based on that. Now they have the opportunity to have that every day and look at these numbers. And I think this is a pretty new way of how you can manage such a company as Dyreparken with this kind of insights. So thank you very much for your time.